here is how to make it highly successful in your attraction to gain the results out of your action, right? So we're talking about massive action and ways how you can grow and build the results with that massive action. So we're gonna start in like 30 seconds. I'm just gonna get some of my biohacking stuff, and I'm gonna light my candle. Something I do every single night. It's just nice to have it glowing. I highly recommend you guys get your journal, get your pen, paper, get something to drink. And the sessions usually last about 15 to 30 minutes. Tonight's probably gonna last about 20-25 minutes, I would say. So make sure that you have something to jot this down, or you definitely rewatch this video and take notes. Okay, I'm gonna move this camera just a bit. Okay, there we go. All right, so talking about massive action tonight, and we are gonna break it down to 3 areas that you really need to focus on when talking about massive action. These are 3 key areas that every time you are thinking about even doing anything, you need to make sure that you cover these 3 things every time. So I'm gonna break them down, and the first one is content. To make anything happen, you need content, right? You can't have nothing to show if you don't have nothing to show, right? If you don't not have a marketable skill, if you don't have anything to put out there, then you cannot expect any results from it. If you don't have money, you can't expect food, right? If you don't have a shelter, then you can't gain the benefits from that, right? So anything that you are putting out, you have to share it, and you have to have quite a bit of it to do that. And I'm gonna break this down into a couple different areas. So content is pretty broad nowadays. You have videos, we have photos, we have articles, we have lives, we have feeds, we have tweets even, you can say, because that's not technically it's just a small snippet of information, right? With TikToks are the same thing with video. And we also have other people's content, right? We could share other people's content as long as it's okay to share it. There's a lot of gray in that area I've seen over the last couple years. Most people are okay with you sharing their content, but if it's something personal to them or their style, it's always nice to ask them. All right, so like I said, content is your first step. So if you do not have content, you need to be focusing day and night on making more content. And I'm gonna come back around to this topic a little bit more as we dig into the other areas as well. So types of content, videos. Videos are like the #1 thing that you could be doing right now. Yes, they take time. Yes, they take knowledge to make. Yes, you have to have some general knowledge on how long your video is going to be. You're going to have the software that can handle videos. You can't just, expect to have videos and not have a decent camera, or and when I mean decent camera, I mean camera that's going to hold memory. You don't have to have a good quality camera, but you're going to have at least a camera that's going to be able to process the videos for you, so you're not spending endless hours wasting your time, to get a good video out for you to use. So, to do content, I would say start with videos. You need to get comfortable in front of a camera. So just practice, make videos. You don't even have to post them. You just need to have the practice to do them. So, of course, with videos, you can also say lives. Lives you can easily do. You can do them about anything. Start doing them on anything. Even if it's not even related to what you're going to focus on, that you want your massive action on, I just recommend that you do lives everywhere and anywhere in any situation, because that's gonna just get you more confidence in talking, get you more ideas on what you want to cover. So definitely videos, lives, I would start there, especially in the environment we're working in now with everything that has video access or streaming. So another important one is, I'm not going to go to photos. Usually I would go to photos, but with so many photos out there, and just to see, the difference between, people that post photos and people that post video, there's just so much. I feel like this camera is weird. Hold on, let me adjust it again. It's got a weird angle. With so many photos versus videos, there is literally, I don't know if you guys have the same results, but across my network, my videos literally get about 200% or more action behind them than photos do. So I would definitely say, if you're thinking about doing a photo, switch it up, do a video, don't waste your time doing photos. Other things, like I said, the next one I actually want you to focus on is writing articles. Get familiar with writing, because you're going to be doing a lot of writing. Even though you're focusing on videos, you're going to need things like titles, you're going to need things like descriptions, you're going to need things like hashtags, you're going to need things like, just where you just want to put a little snippet of information that's going to draw in your audience. So definitely get more better at writing. You don't have to be a really good speller, because I love big words and I love to spell, but at my age, I still get stuck. So I have an Alexa right here, which is amazing. I use her literally all the time to, tell me words, tell me, similar words, tell me other words that I could use if it seems repetitive. So I use spell check and Alexa all the time for that. So articles, also you could use it for blog posts. I don't recommend you spend lots of time on your blog posts. I don't recommend that you do really anything on social media that's going to be like a blog. So I've seen people that actually, take some time and write like blog posts in their like Facebook or Instagram and everything. But I have seen, after serious studying this, I have seen no correlation in the results they get between those long posts and the really, really short ones. Because at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with the length and how much people are actually reading it, but it has everything to do with how much action, how much content you are putting out there. And like I said, we are going to dig back around to content as we talk about these other two other really big key items that you need to produce massive action. All right, so the other one is others' content. When you use other people's content to grow your network. I don't highly recommend this. It depends on what your business is or what your goal is as an influencer, or why you're even, using other people's content in the first place. And the reason why is people need to know who you are. People need to know who you are. And think of it this way, and I love using the Kardashians for this. Even though I've never been into their show, I've never really seen it. I have seen a number of them over the years, but the reason why I use the Kardashians is because it's the perfect example of massive action. Perfect example. So you watch a show such as the Kardashians or something similar, that you are taking their content and you are immersed in it in an hour, where you get to see, them, right? If you were to watch the Kardashians and see a different family, or, a whole other storyline that had just like a side thing and they're just kind of in and out of it, then you wouldn't get to know them, right? You wouldn't get to know their personalities. You wouldn't get to know their businesses and how they work out and what they eat and what their drama is, right? And this is why I said you really need to lessen the other people's content you're using and really just focus on your content. There is a couple things here though. So on using other people's content, yes, you can definitely start something with other people's content, especially as you are building your own content base, right? If you only have a very little bit of content that you've already produced, you know, you can definitely supplement with other people's content. But, you know, the more you use your stuff, even if it's crap, like, I mean, when I mean crap, like, you know, the lighting is terrible, you know, the sound quality is not great. I mean, half the time I don't even plug in my mics or anything just because it's so much easier just to, you know, just start filming. You know, don't worry about it. You know, you don't have to be good right away. Nobody knows you at this point. If you think that 100,000, 200,000 followers is gonna break through the noise on any type of social network, then I gotta tell you it's not. Because I see people that have hundreds of thousands of users, and I know they are still you know, trying to figure out how to get to the next level. And I'm telling you tonight exactly how. You need to worry less about how pretty things are and how nicely formatted and what kind of fancy text you have and, you know, what you're wearing and, you know, who the next big keyword's gonna be, and just take massive action. You just need massive action and not worry about everything else. Like I said, user content, other people's user content's fine when you're first starting out. Even if, you know, you'd like to, you know, quote somebody else or, you know, have somebody as a guest speaker, or things like that. But like I said, you really need to let people know who you are. They're going to relate to you. They're going to want to watch your stuff for your style, for your voice, for your energy. And they need you to start making more content mostly focused around you. Okay, so the second one. All right, that was one. That was content, right? So massive action, number one, content. Massive action, number two, reach. Reach is super important. And this is why it's two, because if you have great content and you keep producing, right? And you keep producing, but you don't have a reach, or you're not growing your reach, you're gonna stay in what I like to say, the Facebook network, right? So the Facebook network is basically where they let you friends of friends, right? But it's hard to get out of their, you know, systemized analytical bubble, right? It's really hard to like go into a group and friend everybody because they're gonna say, hey, you know, do you know those people? So you really need to build your reach. It's very important that you build your reach across everything. And there's a couple key ones that you can do, and I'll put in another one here because I just thought of one that I missed on here. So first one's first, I'll throw this one out there first because a lot of people use this, especially big businesses, and it's very apparent. We see it every day, we see it everywhere we go, and that is ads, right? Ads rule the world. If you have money, you could spend endless money in ads and put your name everywhere, right? And not really think about, you know, too much on the dynamics, on how much you produce, on if it's gonna be awesome or anything like that. Like I said, I don't even want you to worry about that kind of stuff. If you think it's gonna be awesome, or if you think, you know, somebody's gonna like the color blue over the purple today if you wear it. I don't really care, because we're talking about massive action here. We're not talking about, you know, how good looking your video is gonna be. So you need to like put that out of your mind and just think of how much time you have in a day to work on your content and how much you're going to produce. Like I said, going to come back to that again here in a second. So your reach you need to focus on is, like I said, if you have the money, put some ads, and I was going to say random. I don't want you to put random, but I want you to put out ads different ways. I want you to have 4 different ways to do an ad. That could be like maybe, you know, it's the same photo and you have different descriptions under each of them, and different titles under each of them, and different like call to actions under different all 4 of them. Maybe it's a different photo with the same exact description, the same exact, you know, call to action. Maybe the next one is, you know, the same photo but a different title and a different, you know, call to action but the same description. You see what I'm saying? So it's, use it like, you know, you have the same dynamic in a way. You keep like majority of the elements the same, but switch 1 or 2 elements as the whole in the next, you know, 3 videos. Or just make sure it's a little bit different, and don't spend a fortune on it, because what you're doing is basically testing your market and seeing what clicks through more. And you're going to notice it right away. You're going to seriously notice it. If something takes off, you don't even have to think about it. It's just going to happen. And that's the one, that is the format you're going to spend more money in. You're just going to keep doing that ad. Don't worry about all the rest of the ads. I don't care if you like the ads. The ads aren't for you. The ads are for those clients that are looking for your content. So that is the tip I'm going to give you for ads. So the other way to reach people with your massive action is, of course, your network, right? Your network is like your Facebook connections, they're your Instagram connections, they're your people that follow you on Twitter, on TikTok, on all these social sites, as well as on your blog, on your email listings. That is your network. Don't ever forget that you have those networks, and continually build those. And what I mean with build them, invite people to them. When you join a new group, invite everybody in that group to your main site, or wherever you're wanting massive action to, right? And just focus on one. Don't focus on a whole bunch at once. If you have a lot of different networks to build, like say if you're totally new online or you have a very small following, focus just one at a time. So if you need to grow out your Facebook, grow out your Facebook with groups, you know, grow out with friends of friends, ask friends on Facebook to recommend you. Don't try to do like all of them at once. Like, okay, I just contacted 10 people and told them to go to my Facebook. I'm going to contact the same 10 people and tell them to go over to my Instagram. I'm going to contact the same 10 people. You see what I'm saying? Because they won't know where to follow you, for one. And then you're still talking to the same 10 people. You're not growing your network. You're just basically telling your connections just to keep going everywhere you go. So you need to think outside of your network you currently already have, that's already established, and just keep growing out. Other than that, you need to, you know, connect with your friends and family more. You know, there's always friends and family out there that are always doing something. They're always involved in something. So, you know, make sure that you're keeping in touch with them and telling them, you know, what you're doing, and make sure that they know. So if they want to share it, they can, but don't pressure them. Don't, you know, tell them that they have to do something, because you don't want to be treated like that if they had something that you weren't interested in. So don't make them feel pressured they have to join in everything you're doing. All right, so the last one on reach is influencers. Now, this is usually a paid or a trade type way to get influencers. You can even have people that write articles for you. You can have these little beetles in here. Sorry about that. They got it a couple days ago. Still getting rid of them. So, okay. Influencers usually have to pay a fee or do a trade, or you know, you have to network with them. So it's always something you have to give them to get their you know, network, to get them engaged with you. So like I said, that could even be with articles. That could be like video stuff with them. So that's mostly, like I said, another way to reach a different network you know, where you usually don't have that. Okay, so we did reach, we talked about network, we talked about ads, we talked about friends and family, and we talked about influencers. And the last one we did, we talked about content, using videos, majority articles or writings, photos, other people's content, and stuff that you can use in your feed, like those feed articles or feed questions that you would put in, like things like Facebook or Instagram, but not focusing on those, because those are the least important out of all the rest. Even other users' content is actually less important than other people's content, just because if you know other people's content is working, like they're getting lots of views and lots of acknowledgement for it, and you share it, you're gonna get reaction too. All right. So then we got 3. 3 is consistency. You have to stay consistent. Every single day, every single week, every single month, every single quarter, every single year, you have to stay consistent. However that is. You can work like on a daily basis, like post something every single day. You can have a set time for something, like if you have a group dinner once a week, record it and put it out there. If you have something quarterly, like a big event that you do, make sure you record it and put it out there. You even have things that may be seasonal, right? Something special that has to do that you try to market for a season. But the key is consistency, like actually putting in the effort every single time this thing comes up, to get it out there so people can start seeing more of it and know that it's coming, right? Get the viewers excited. Even if you don't have any viewers, it's good for you because it builds the habit. So when you do get bigger, they see that you're consistent and in your endeavors, and also it brings up all of your followings across the board, because once other sites see that you're constantly putting out content, they're gonna start giving you more viewers. They're gonna start putting you higher on the listings. All right, so just think of it this way. So it's like going to work. If you only show up like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and skip Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then decide to come like half day Sunday, you know, they're not gonna like really rely on you, right? So same thing with every network. You have to be consistent in your timing. I got a couple more tips under that, but I'm gonna read here what else I have. Okay. So I have like a little quote that we all pretty much heard. So I'll say that in a second. And I'm going to totally dispel it here in a second. Okay. So we all heard the quote, right? Quality over quantity, right? Quality over quantity. Well, I want you to switch that around. So you're going to start thinking of that quote every time you hear it and every single day. In fact, you're going to write it down and put it where you work the most. And you're going to say quantity over quality. Quantity over quality. Because you're taking massive action here. So you need massive content. You need massive things to put out in the market to even get close to people knowing who you are and what you stand for and your message. So it doesn't matter your quality at this point. In fact, it never matters because you need to make so much noise that people are just interested in your message more than, like I said, your looks, your camera, you know, where you're at, you know, who you're seeing, what next celebrity is going to come in. And I see this time and time and time and time and time again. There is like these amazing videos on YouTube that is like studio quality. They have like, you know, a superstar that's coming in, they're interviewing them, and they get like, 60,000 views, which is great. I mean, it's a wonderful amount of views. Sometimes they get like 300,000 views. And it's great, every 10th or 12th video they shoot in like a month or like in 7 months, right? But if you really want to stand out, if you really want to grow, you'll be like the people on TikTok or the people on Instagram or the people on YouTube that literally shoot 4 videos, write 4 articles, post 4 different photos, make anything in massive quantities and post them. And there is no rule on a lot of these. In fact, I can't even think of any that you can't literally just keep posting. Like you can just keep posting and posting and posting and posting. In fact, the more you can put out there, the better. I literally see kids on TikTok post like 6 dance moves, and literally it takes them 2 minutes each. Of course, it takes more time to do that because they have to plan it. They, have to practice it. They have to put some work behind it. Sometimes it looks easier, right, than it is. But they're putting massive action behind these, right? They're posting out 4 to 6 videos a day. They time it throughout the day. And they are getting like 20 million viewers, right? Well, this is why. Because they are doing the first thing here that I told you need to do when you're taking massive action. You need content. You need content so you stand out above the noise. And of course, you need to post this content. You can't just make the content and not put it out there. So you have to make the content, you have to put it out there. And that's why I tell you, focus most of your energy on videos. Get comfortable in front of a camera, put on the live. I don't care what you look like. I don't care if you're not wearing makeup. It doesn't matter because I'm not here to stare at people when I'm learning something. And I know none of you guys are, at least on my channel. You're not here to stare at me all day. You're here at getting information to learn to build your own success. So like I said, don't worry so much on how you look or, if you have a sore throat or, you're just off, like, because, you had a really shitty day. You need to just, stay focused on your message and just get through it. And you'll feel amazing because you did. And not only that, you produce the content that people, like, not even close come to. I mean, there's so many people that are working so much harder on making their videos because they're, hiring people to do copy. They're hiring people to do, like, special, like, like cinema quality intros and exits, and you don't need all that. So you don't, not even close. Go check out like some of these really top producers. A lot of them are mostly like teenage, maybe even younger, that are taking these massive action steps that are getting millions and millions and millions of views. The reason why is because they're taking massive action. And they don't care usually at that stage. There's no one that's telling them, usually no, or there is and they don't care. Or, they're at that point in their life, it doesn't matter because they're not worried that, somebody is gonna take offense because they work with so-and-so and they might not like it, So just, it doesn't matter. If you want to make a message, you need to take massive action. Okay. So we cover consistency, and so the consistency tip here, the main takeaway was how often you're going to do it and just stick to that schedule. You can start with something small, right? You can start with like, okay, this month I'm going to shoot 3 live videos, right? But make sure every single month you're shooting those 3 live videos, and then you can build onto it. You can say, okay, I did really good the last 3 months shooting the 3 live videos. And this month, I'm going to challenge myself, since that was too easy. I'm going to shoot 6 live videos this month. And then until you get up to pretty much daily. I want you to shoot daily. And then if you can write articles too, it doesn't take long. I don't want you to put a whole lot of effort in the reproduction of it, right? I want you to put more energy into you knowing your stuff and putting out the information. So you knowing what the heck you're going to talk about, what the heck you're going to share, and just keep putting it out there. All right, so consistency, we talked about the reach, your network, influencers and friends, running ads, hiring influencers or trading some services with them, and your content, the content being the key here. All right, so I think that's about it. So other than that, like I said, I really want you to concentrate on putting content. If you want to make a massive reach, think of it like singers and actors, right? You know pretty much a lot of these big singers and actors. Why, you think? Well, it's not because so much that, you know, they look amazing or they have amazing messages, but it's literally because you can't turn around 1 second without noticing them, you know, because their reach is so big, right, that you hear it on the radio, you see it on videos, your friend recommends it, you know, so they're getting the reach, these bigger, you know, names. They have the content, even if you don't think they haven't been around for many years. And like I said, I like to use actors and singers for this. Go look and see what they've done for the, you know, 2 to 10 years before, and notice like, oh my God, they came out with all these other songs that I never even heard about. You know, what songs didn't they even put out there? You know, what songs or what acting and film and drama things, you know, haven't you even seen because it wasn't recorded? You know, how much action has to go behind the scenes to even, you know, start getting the production going. So, you know, you have to think of that too. So just because you're practicing and you put out some videos just for practice or whatever, that's still taking action. That's still getting your confidence and your system in place so you can do more. I said, so definitely if you feel like you're stuck in your network, in your reach, just remember it's the #1 key here is content. And if you're not producing every single day, then you can't expect people to notice you and your reach to grow. So that's where I'm leaving it tonight, guys. I am getting these little beetles again in here. So they're annoying, but they've been going, like, they've been dying slowly because I had the window shut. But either way, I hope you are having an amazing night, and I hope this video has helped you. Definitely follow this page. You can go over to my site and get affirmations, some more success information. It's a new site, AmenaK.com, but there is information there you can download and use. The YouTube channel is getting worked on all the rest of this month, so definitely check that out. There'll be links here on the bio soon, so definitely check out all the hard work I've been putting into that behind my scenes, taking massive action. So just remember, if you're not where you want to be, you need to start producing more content and putting it everywhere you are. All right, guys, take care. My name is Amena K. Thornton, and I'll see you tomorrow here back at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye.